If you live in the northern hemisphere, you might be like me and experience a bit of a dip in your energy at this time of year. Winter is long and it's cold and it's dark. So, on top of that, this past Monday was Blue Monday, which is apparently the saddest day of the year. So I thought, just to cheer us up a little bit, I would talk about 5 ways that we can infuse a tiny bit of joy into our dark, cold winter sewing days. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Izzy, and on this channel I love to talk all things sewing. Alright, so like I said, we can't make winter go away, but there are some strategies we can use to bring up the joy level in our sewing life a little bit. Alright, so tip number 1, use color. And I'm wearing like the perfect blouse to illustrate this point. A lot of us, including me, tend to default to very neutral tones in the winter to kind of like go along with what's out there, right? Lots of winter whites or blacks or gray or very dark navy. But it's so much fun when you love color to play with colorful fabric or to wear a pop of color in an otherwise pretty neutral outfit. So if color, like head to toe, is not your thing, you can infuse a little bit of color into your sewing. So you can choose to use colorful fabric to line a garment. So lining a pair of trousers or lining a jacket with a really nice pop of color. Most of the time, it's not going to show, but when you put on that garment, when you take it off, you'll see it and it will bring a smile to your face. Same thing for lining pockets. I keep all of my quilting fabric scraps in like a sorting type thing, and I pull colorful, happy quilting fabrics to line pockets in trousers. I've done it for skirts, I've done it for trousers, I've made jeans for Marianne recently and lined the pockets in a really fun fabric. You can't see it from the outside, but again, when you put your hands in or when you put on your garment, you can see the super fun pop of color. You can use a fun pop of color on a binding, even if it's going to be turned to the inside. Again, nobody's going to see it but you, but it's a fun pop of color. Another thing you can do, if you're not quite the head to toe color kind of person, you can color block a top. So why not make, a top that's otherwise very, very neutral, but have a yoke a different color, have a sleeve the different color. So there are so many things, having a contrasting neckband. So there are lots and lots of ways to intentionally put some color back into your life in the winter, even if you're not gonna be like head to toe wearing bright red kind of thing. So yeah, try it. Tip number 2, choose fabrics that are amazing to the touch. So joy can also come from how a garment feels when you wear it. So things like velvet, things like faux fur or sherpa, or like a soft flannel, maybe a teddy kind of fleece. Winter is the perfect season to have fun with tactile fabrics and really, just up your mood because you're in something that feels so nice and snuggly and cozy. I've mentioned this top about 1,000,000 times on my channel, but my Whistler top it's not a velvet, it's almost like a minky in a beautiful bright teal fabric. I love this top, and when I put it on, immediately my mood lifts, not just because of the color, but also because how soft the fabric feels on my body. It's just an instant mood lifter. It's amazing. Tip number 3, add a fun detail to your garment. So if you're going to make something that's otherwise pretty neutral, why not pop some really fun buttons on it? So if you're going to be making a blouse, well, have some fun buttons. There are so many really cool buttons you can get now, whether they're from small little shops like Pigeon Wishes or Jazz and Wow. I got a few really fun buttons in my advent calendar from Jazz and Wow recently, and I cannot wait to use them on a garment. So spoil yourself with some really, really fun buttons for your next project that requires them. You can also have fun with cute zipper pulls or fun zippers. Like, there are ways to add a fun little detail that's not going to be super in your face, but again, you'll know it's there. It's going to bring a smile to your face whenever you wear that garment. So adding a fun little detail to an otherwise pretty understated garment is one way to really have fun with sewing in the winter. Tip number 4. When it's really, really cold out, or when my energy levels are really low, I tend to not want to come down here. So I'm going to stay upstairs on the couch, watch mindless TV, or scroll on my phone, just because I don't feel like I have the energy to jump into or really focus on an involved project. But instead, what I sometimes do is come down here anyways, but work on something small, something quick, something I'm going to get finished in one short sewing session and just give me a bit of that dopamine hit of a finished product. So you could go into your sewing space and make yourself a fun zipper pouch in a bright quilting cotton. You could make yourself a fun little mug rug that you're going to use for your coffee throughout, or your tea, throughout the winter months. Something colorful, something fun, something that is quick and satisfying, just to give you that, like I said, that little hit of dopamine. Highly recommend. And finally, tip number 5, sew for your future self. So if you tend to wear pretty neutral colors in the winter, heavy fabric, that kind of thing, and yeah, why not sew yourself something you're going to wear in the warmer months? So why not whip out some really cute rayon print or a rayon solid in a nice bright color that you're gonna make a nice summer dress with. So nothing says that you absolutely have to sew for the season you're in. You can definitely sew for when summer comes around. I made a super cute like skirt cami or skirt tank top set a couple of weeks ago with a Think Pink box. It was a beautiful rayon. It's got a darker background, so I could have used it to make myself a winter garment, but instead I made myself a spring summer set, and it just made me so happy to work on that set, because that reminded me that winter is not going to be around forever. Eventually, I will be able to wear those clothes, that set, because warmth is going to come back around. So yeah, sew for your future self. Think about all the fun you'll have in that garment when the weather starts changing again. Winter can be a long season. And if you're not careful or intentional about adding sparks of joy into your everyday life and into your sewing practice, it can feel even longer. So yeah, I highly encourage you. I know I'm going to encourage myself to infuse a little bit of joy, of color, of fun fabric, of little fun details into my sewing practice, because especially where I live, sometimes winter feels like it's 10 months long and not just the 3 or 4 months that it really is. I would love to know Do you have any tips or tricks for those of us who, yeah, whose energy really starts dipping at this time of year? The end of January, early February are really tough weeks for me. I find the days are just so dark and gloomy. And yeah, I could use all the help I can get. So if you have any tips or tricks to just make things a little more joyful, please leave that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching today. Please give the video a like on your way out if you liked it, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.